everybody, and welcome to the SmackDown review. Now, normally we do a deep dive, but at this point, it is pretty late, and I forgot to record this review because I've been so busy. I had to go to a game, and I've been live streaming for y'all for 2K25 a lot over these past 2 days, so I haven't had time to do this, but here we go. We're finally getting it done. Instead of doing a deep dive like we normally do, we're just going to go through what happened at SmackDown and my thoughts on it. We started off the show with LA Knight coming out. And then it gets interrupted by a lot of people, and then before you know it, it gets interrupted by the Bloodline. And then we get this match, Braun Strowman and LA Knight and Jimmy Uso, and they defeated Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu by a pinfall. But after the match is what really stuck out to me. Don't get me wrong, that six-man tag match was good, but then we got teased with a match that's possibly going to happen at WrestleMania, or Saturday Night's Main Event, I would guess, maybe something like that, or even on a random episode of SmackDown, and that is Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. We see Jacob Fatu go back up the ramp, and then he comes and runs right back down and wants another piece of Braun Strowman. So we've seen them build it up over the past couple of months, but they let it go for a couple of weeks, and now they're finally back on the track of wanting that. But if I was them, I wouldn't keep teasing Solo Sikoa back on Jacob Fatu's side, because as we know, Jacob and Solo had some heat over the past few weeks, and then now Solo's finally back on Jacob's side, and we saw LA Knight come out, and then we saw Jimmy Uso come out, and Jimmy was asking for a title shot because he said he was desperate. But then we see Braun Strowman come out, then we see then we see the Bloodline come out, and Solo says, and I think that Jacob should get the title shot. So instead of picking himself to get a title shot, he wants Jacob to get a title shot. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes, but I just don't think they should have Solo back on Jacob's side, because I think this is a WrestleMania match. Then we see a Jade Cargill interview, and I put some pictures on here from Instagram on what summed up about this whole interview, and this is everything Jade Cargill revealed about Naomi and Bianca Belair. How Jade Cargill knew it was Naomi who attacked her. Jade Cargill says as she was blacking out and having her eyes shut close, she saw Naomi running away from the scene of the attack. Why she didn't speak out sooner, and why she doesn't fully trust Bianca Belair anymore. Jade Cargill says that what Naomi did to her attacked her integrity, loyalty, and her heart. She didn't speak out because she didn't know who to trust. Jade also noted that it was hurtful, and she found it a bit off how Bianca Belair started teaming up with Naomi and acting as if nothing ever happened. Then we get Jade denying Naomi's claim of piggybacking off of Bianca Belair. Jade says that she has never needed Bianca's help for a handout or from anyone to help her get to the top. But I'd say the funniest part is we saw Liv Morgan walk by with their suitcases and their briefcases and everything like that, and Liv said, or we get a match announced next week. I don't know why I'm all over the place with my words, but we get announced that next week we get Bianca Belair. My goodness, what am I saying? We get Liv Morgan versus Jade Cargill, and Liv says, how about you just don't get pushed onto any cars between now and then, okay? It's hilarious. Then we see Charlotte Flair versus B-Fab, and honestly, I was not expecting the B-Fab to put up a fight like this. I thought it was just going to be a squash match to give Charlotte momentum before Mania, even though she doesn't need it. But in the end, Charlotte did win by submission, and we even got Tiffany and Charlotte battling it out for a while. But after that, we saw a lot of stuff happen there. We saw, well, really, this Drew McIntyre promo wasn't really anything. He just attacked Damien, which I didn't see this part. I did not see this part, so I don't really know what happened here. I just looked it up, and that's what it came up. We saw Cody Rhodes on Miz TV, and at this time, Tiffany and Charlotte were still fighting at the entrance ramp. But we see Miz interrupt Cody's woe on the turnbuckle, and Cody comes down and just beats him up. That's really it. And then he just talks about how stuff is going to go at Mania and all this. And I wouldn't say issued a challenge to John Cena, but we know John Cena was coming next week, and Cody just acknowledged that he was going to be at Monday Night Raw next week. We get Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which was announced earlier in the day, and that match ended in a DQ with Drew McIntyre attacking Damian Priest. I think that's what happened. I couldn't watch that one either. Then we see Randy Orton defeating Carmelo Hayes by pinfall, and this match was awesome. Very awesome. The next two matches are just greatness. Well, this match was so good, and we saw the ending of the match was just an RKO, and then Randy goes for a handshake with Carmelo, and Carmelo weaves him, and so Randy hits him with another RKO. That's a great segment. I loved that. We see Gunther come out, and he issues a challenge to the guy who is the savior of Spain, and like the first wrestler to sign to WWE from Spain, which is Axiom. And this match was so good. Going into it, as soon as I saw it was Axiom, I knew they had to make Axiom look good, but also make Gunther not look as beatable. And we saw at one point Axiom kick out of the powerbomb. But the end of the match, I think we saw a chop and then a powerbomb, something like that. But yeah, I mean, great match. We saw Paul Heyman have a promo, and pretty much just talking about how Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and just explaining the rivalry pretty much. But at one point, he admitted that CM Punk is the best in the world. We get the Street Profits defeating DIY for the championships. A lot to get into in this one. I said on my live stream, if you were there, I said that how if they're gonna have Street Profits win this, they have to do something with them. And with them winning this, I don't know if it makes any sense. I love DIY as the tag team champs, but I think Street Profits have way more potential than DIY right now. But my main concern was why Triple H would make 3 title changes in the past 4 weeks. That's something I didn't understand, but I mean, I ain't mad at it. I definitely thought we were gonna get some controversy at the end of the match, but we didn't. We just saw them be rewarded with the championships. As we know, they were Raw tag team champs a good time ago. So that was it for the SmackDown review. It was probably rushed, and it was very scuffed because I'm trying to get out more content for y'all, and with the content that I'm putting out, it's getting worse. So I have to lock in again. But this is definitely gonna be one of the last videos you see it being scuffed. We're gonna have some awesome videos coming up in the future, and stay tuned to the channel. We're doing a lot of live streams on WWE 2K25, and even before Monday Night Raws, before NXTs, we're gonna be doing live streams on the card that's gonna happen, my predictions on the card, and even what I think about the past week about. On Monday Night Raw, I will talk about what happened on SmackDown last week, and then I'll just kind of explain everything and put my thoughts on it instead of having to watch this video. Instead, you can just go in the live streams and let me explain everything to you. But with that being said, I will see y'all boys in the next one. Deuces.